What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Polestar. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down on what is really moving it, and some key levels to really watch for going forward. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Polestar is up 0.59%. We're seeing a lot of volatility. So I had a nice push higher first thing, 22.86 the high, 21.19 the low, and just shy of around 54,000 shares being traded. So very low volume, unfortunately, but then again, the broader market's kind of iffy. So a lot of institutions are hesitant about really getting in, and even more so in Polestar's case, which I will go over in a second, but there really hasn't been that much in news. So my last Polestar video, I did talk about these two PRs. So the one that came out December the 16th and December the 19th. Very good outside the box type of mentality, and that should really help Polestar for financing well into, I would assume, late 2026, if not early 2027. So pretty good stuff. That's what investors ultimately care about, is just to eliminate as much dilution as possible. And most likely Polestar is going to be profitable probably by 2028. That's what some analysts are forecasting. So once profitability does hit, then Polestar's stock price will more align a little bit with the operation. Then in theory, we could kind of see things move higher. But Polestar, in my opinion, really does need to be studied because they haven't really done that much in news. They have virtually no social media presence, so they don't really do anything at all on Twitter. Instagram is the occasional thing here and there, but they are doing very well considering everything. And when it comes down to shorts, they've surprisingly taken a step back. So today they're increasing about 22,000 shares. And of course, as I've mentioned, about 57 or 54,000 shares have been traded so far. So today shorts are making up for a good chunk of the volume, and that's probably why you're seeing a lot of volatility. But 12.8% of the free floats being shorted works to be 1.65 million shares overall being shorted. DTC being at 6.67 days does really signal that shorts are very overextended. Short score 89.47, and cost to borrow average, which is a annual rate, not a daily rate, is sitting at 252.05%. As I've kind of mentioned in the past, if you actually hide the name Polestar, and if someone showed me this information, I would easily say it's a squeeze play. Shorts are extremely overdone, and plus you're not really seeing that much volume. So if Polestar was to put out some news, or let's say some acquisition, merger, something along those lines, then you could see Polestar really move higher. And this is something I've kind of alluded to for a while. I do feel in 2026 Polestar is going to have some sort of merger, and a lot of people don't really like when I say that, interestingly enough, because I think typically if, let's say, Polestar is the one getting acquired, any investor, you'd pretty much get like a 30% premium over the market price. So in general, a lot of people would be at a little bit of a loss, unfortunately. But still, I think for the company itself, that might be the next big logical step. Aside from that, looking at the options, every time I don't really see the point in really bringing this up because we're seeing $210 in calls. I don't think I've ever seen anything that low. And then 2,400 in puts. So absolutely nothing really going on. 92% of all the options being done are bullish in nature. There's no point in kind of going over this because, like I said, just small chump changes getting in. No transactions occurring on the secondary market, and then no transactions occurring on the dark pool. So as I mentioned, Polestar really does need to be studied based on everything that has happened. Because ever since it hit the low of, I think it was 1175, I'll give you a quick overview. Yes, 1175. So ever since it hit the low of that 1175 range, things have just gone amazing for it. There really hasn't been that much in any like analyst ratings. Articles still don't really talk about Polestar. So as I kind of signaled, like Polestar honestly does need to be studied. From a technical standpoint, I think this is where things are starting to heat up a little bit. With it right now at 21.49, it is trading between this R1 and this pivot. So 18.26 is going to be that next strong support. I'm looking at the one-day chart on a side note. So these are very strong support and resistance points. And then 22.04 followed by 24.37 is going to be the next strong target / resistance points. And so the fact that Polestar was able to get above this 22.04 for a couple consecutive days does signal that it wants to continue to move higher despite everything. And so quickly going over here, Polestar over the last several days, I'll give you a quick overview of this, but Polestar from the low right here, it has been going up about 78.47%. Again, they obviously put out news on the 16th and the 19th, but other than that, they have been on a absolute run. So this is the first time ever in its history Polestar has done this. They've gone on plenty of runs, even right here back in August 2025, but even extending that a little bit further, like they've gone on a fair amount of runs, but even right here, it's riddled with consolidation days, and that's normal. That's actually what a stock should do. Polestar, what they're doing right now is kind of defying logic. A lot of this, though, is linked to algorithmic trading, but still very, very positive. From a technical standpoint, the fact that it is above not only this 10-day moving average, which signals that it's starting to build up some good momentum, but this 50-day moving average as well kind of signals that you could see a nice push to that 100-day moving average, which is at 24.19. So for those of you that have been tuning into a lot of my Polestar videos, even prior to the whole reverse stock split, I said that most likely it was going to bottom, I think I said around 14. And then from there, it'll recover back to around the $19 range. It's definitely done a lot better than what I previously thought. But even during my last video, I said most likely it'll be in the 20s in the next little bit, and lo and behold, it did. It went on a nice run from about 15 to kind of started to consolidate and hold back a little bit around the 20s, but it does look like it's starting to get some additional legs. So for those of you that want to swing trade, day trade, this stock might be for you. And once again, in theory, a reverse stock split only affects the sentiment. It does not change anything about the operations. All they're doing is just changing two things: the outstanding share count as well as the price. That is it. Market cap in theory stays the same. It's just the metrics. That's it. So let me know your thoughts on Polestar. Did you take advantage and have you been buying? Or did you take advantage and you sold? What have you been kind of generally doing with Polestar? And do you think that this run, epic run, is going to continue? Looking at the market position, on a side note, like you see a hell of a lot of willing buyers, but kind of willing sellers, not so much. So in theory, if I was Polestar and I had something in my back pocket for epic news, I would probably think about putting it out now, because there's not much willing sellers and it could easily move up higher to realistically the $33 range. And it's just a matter of time. Like shorts have been, obviously they've been returning a little bit, but overall there's still a substantial amount of shorts in Polestar. So there could be a little bit of a squeeze as well. So things could get very interesting. That's kind of the moral of the story. Let me know your thoughts on Polestar. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all you watching.